5 mourning the loss of Indiana's own race car driver Bryan Clauson. The Noblesville resident died last night from injuries in a horrific dirt track crash in Kansas over the weekend. The 27-year-old, who recently competed in the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, was also considered the nation's top short track dirt car driver.
Short track racing has really always been the heart and soul of auto racing in America, and Bryan Clauson combined his passion and enthusiasm for grassroots racing with a God-given talent that made him a favorite to win every time he got in a midget or a sprint car. And he proved on the world's largest stage, by leading 3 laps in the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, that he could use that talent in just about anything with wheels.
And we have team coverage tonight from RTV6's Derek Thomas and Brad Brown. We start with Brad, who spoke with fellow drivers today. Brad.
Erica, good afternoon. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway may have been the biggest track that Bryan Clauson raced on, but he made his name across the Hoosier State and all over the nation by grinding it out night after night, far from the Brickyard's grandeur. His fellow drivers are showing a ton of respect for a young racer who had perhaps just begun to show us his potential.
Bryan Clauson seemed destined for racing success from the very start. He won his first USAC feature just after his 16th birthday, the start of a 10-plus year run that saw him win features in the biggest races all over the country. An ARCA win in 2006 may have steered him toward a stock car career. He drove in the Busch Series with Chip Ganassi Racing, also filled in for Dario Franchitti during the 2008 NASCAR season. Clauson won the pole in Daytona that July. He very nearly made it to NASCAR's Top Series, but his first 2 qualifying efforts were rained out, and late in 2008 he missed making the field in Texas. In 2010, Clauson shifted his focus back to USAC, driving for Tony Stewart's Silver Crown team. That year, Clauson clinched the first of 3 straight USAC National Drivers' Championships. That earned him an Indy Lights ride, and then in 2012 his career reached a pinnacle when he drove in his first Indianapolis 500 for Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing. He finished 30th in his rookie run at IMS.
I remember he was so good here his rookie year when he was teammates with Joseph at Sarah and Wink's team. He was almost too good, too quick. You know, being a former USAC guy myself, it's a big jump. They're all race cars, they all have 2 pedals, but there is a lot different to an Indy car, and he made that transition way quicker than what I did.
Clauson won midget car racing's biggest event, the Chili Bowl Nationals, in 2014, often calling it the best night of his career. He returned to IMS in 2015 and 16, this time with Dale Coyne Racing, finishing 23rd this past May. Clauson's last run at IMS brought his entire career full circle in one evening, running on a dirt track with Tony Stewart and Sarah Fisher inside the Speedway. What is it about this kind of racing that seems to be, you guys that do it, keeps you in it? You just keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, as pure a form of racing as you'll find. There's, strapping in for 30 laps. There's not a whole lot of saving tires or worrying about fuel. It's just man and machine.
A reminder of where Clauson's career had taken him, and now the potential that will go unfulfilled.
And a resume that will include laps led at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as he did this past May. We've talked about Bryan's quest to run in 200 feature races this year. Saturday's event in Kansas was number 116. He won 27 of those, putting his career USAC win total over 100. We'll have reaction from some more IndyCar drivers coming up for you tonight at 6 o'clock. Erica.
Brad, thank you. And Clauson will be on the minds of the IndyCar drivers the next time they race. Their cars will bear a sticker with the initials BC when they race in Pocono on August 21st. That sticker is already on the official car of IMS President Doug Bowles. Continuing our team coverage now, USAC's president today described Clauson's passing as one of the darkest days in the history of the U.S. Auto Club. Clauson had already won 27 races and 94 starts and was a shooting star in the sport. RTV6's Derek Thomas reports.
Bryan Clauson was on pace to become the all-time winningest USAC driver. At 27, he had already won 112 races. The last victory came last Wednesday night. He knew how to drive a car and he knew how to hoist a trophy. He was in it for the long haul until Saturday night. USAC Racing Director Levi Jones described what happened.
Bryan was in lap traffic and got up into the fence and had flipped, and just kind of an accident like we see a lot of times. Just the outcome wasn't what we wanted.
It wasn't what anyone wanted, especially someone so good and so young.
Motorsports is a sport we all love, and there are at times that we lose a great champion. This is one of those days, and any days you look back at motorsports, it's tough to lose anybody, but to lose a champion like Bryan is a true day of tragedy here at USAC.
Clauson is a graduate of Noblesville High School. Jeff Bryant, the principal there, released a statement that said he will always be remembered as our friend, classmate, teammate, and of course, our favorite racer. The mayor took that theme a step further.
And he was a Noblesville hero. Bryan was definitely a hero, and we'll miss him. We'll miss his smile, if nothing else, and his humility.
One of Clauson's goals was to finish 200 races this year. The last race would have been 116. Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Clauson's friends have taken to Twitter to express their sorrow. Teammate Connor Daly sending out this tweet. Our sport has lost an incredible person, a winner more times than most of us will ever be. It was a true honor to be your teammate, Bryan. From fellow IndyCar driver Tony Kanaan, no words to describe how sad the racing community is this morning. Rest in peace, Bryan Clauson. And from former race car driver and team owner Sarah Fisher, we will miss you greatly, Bryan Clauson. You taught us so much and gave us your friendship. We'll always have you in our hearts. Rest in peace, my friend. Bryan Clauson is survived by his parents and sister and his fiancée. Funeral arrangements are pending. A memorial service in his honor will take place at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A date for that will be announced soon. In lieu of flowers or to make a donation, the family asks that you donate to the USAC Benevolent Foundation in Bryan's name. Details can be found right now on the RTV6 app.